Let's write today's daily, and start from today I will use ChatGPT to do some mock interview with me, and just for practice my communication skills on the real interview. And let's start it. Hi, thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. I'm glad to have you here. So let's start with those clarifications. Does everything I asked about make sense? Feel free to let me know if you have any other assumptions you'd like to clarify too.
Okay, so can I have a minute to look at a question?
Absolutely. Let me know whenever you're ready to discuss the solution.
Okay, so our task is make the rope to be colorful, and the definition about the colorful is that there is no two consecutive balloons. So we want to remove the consecutive balloons until there is no any consecutive balloons with same color, right?
Yes, exactly. So now that we clarified that, let's move on to discussing how we can approach the solution. Do you have any initial thoughts or ideas on how we might solve this problem?
Okay, before that, I would like to try some example case. So if the color string is ABAAC, and the consecutive colors will be the AA, and we want to remove one A over here. And if the color string is ABAAC, then the consecutive colors is AAA, and we want to remove two A's from these three consecutive A, right?
Yes, that's correct. For each group of consecutive same color balloons, you want to remove all but one. So in the first example, you remove one A, and in the second example, you remove two A's. And the idea is to minimize the total time it takes to remove those balloons. Great, you're thinking in the right direction. Ready to move on to discussing the solution?
Yeah, sure. And since that we want to minimize the time, so we can use greedy strategy to decide which balloons that we want to remove. And we can start from each position, and we will update the needed time. We will decide we want to remove this balloon or not based on the color. If the color is the same as the previous one, and which means we have to remove one balloon from this one or the previous one. But if the colors are not the same, we can just skip this balloon and then we can go to the next one. Does that sound clear?
Yes, that sounds clear, and that's a solid greedy approach. For each group of consecutive same color balloons, you'll want to remove the ones with the smaller needed time and keep the one with the largest needed time. So to recap, you'll go through each balloon, and whenever you find consecutive ones with the same color, remove the one that takes less time and keep the one that takes more. Great job breaking that down.
Okay, yeah, so may I start coding?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Feel free to walk me through your code as you write it, and I'll be here to help with any questions or thoughts along the way.
Yeah, okay, so I have already finished my code, and should I explain it to you?
Yes, please. I'd love to hear how you implemented it. Walk me through the key parts of your code.
Okay, so we will have three variables, and one variable is result, and this result we will use to record the minimum time, and we have n variables, and this n stands for the length of the colors array, and we also have a remain variables, and this remain variables is very important. It records the current needed time. So and then we will use a for loop to go through the array, and we will start from index 1, and we will initialize the remain variables as needed time 0, the first the 0 index value, and then we will start the for loop. Is it clear so far? Should I keep going?
Yes, that's perfectly clear. So far, you're initializing the result to track the total time, and the remain variable is holding the needed time of the previous balloon. Feel free to keep going. Tell me what happens inside the loop.
Okay, sure. So in the for loop, we'll have two conditions. The first condition is that if the current colors is equal to the previous color, and then we want to update the remain. And the update method is that we want to pick a maximum between the remain and the current needed time. And we also like to update the result because the current color is the same as the previous one. So we have to remove one of them. So for the result, we want to choose the minimum between the remain and the needed time. And then, yeah, this is the case when the color equals to the previous color. And otherwise, we just update the remain as the current needed time. And finally, we just return the result.
That's great. So the logic is, for each pair of consecutive same-colored balloons, you add the minimum needed time of the two to the result, because that's the one you remove. And you keep the maximum needed time for the next comparison. It sounds like you got it all covered. Nice job. Next, do you want to do a dry run with the test case?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Let's use one of the examples from the problem. How about we try the input abaak and needed time 3, 4, 5. Walk me through how your code handles it.
Okay, so we will initialize the result as 0, and the n is the length of the color, so which is 5. And then we will initialize the remain as the 1. And then we will go through a for loop and start from the index 1. And in the first round, the current color B is not equal to the A. Therefore, we go to the else condition, and then we will update the remain to 2, right? And then we go to the next round, and the next round, it's A compared to B, and they are not the same color, so we update the remain, become 3. And for the next round, we got the 3 and we got the A and A. So in this round, we want to update the remain and the result. So in this round, the remain would be the maximum between the 3 and 4, so it would be 4. And for the result, we want to pick the minimum 1. So between 3 and 4, we would like to pick 3. Actually, yeah. So we plot 3 to result and update the remain into 4. Okay. So and we go to the next round, and next round is 5. Next round color is C, and C is not equal to A, so we update the remain to 5. But we have no more elements in the colors, so we will return the result as 3. Does that sound clear?
Yes, that makes perfect sense. And you explained it really well. You correctly added 3 to the result when you had those consecutive A's, and you kept the maximum needed time each step. Great job on that dry run. Now let's talk about the complexity. Ready to analyze time and space complexity?
Yeah, sure. So I would say for space complexity, it would be O of 1 because we just create 3 variables and we didn't use extra space for any like array or other data structure. And for time complexity, it would be O of n because we just go through once for the colors array. So the n stands for the length of the colors.
Exactly right. You've nailed it. The space is O of 1, since you're only using a constant number of variables, and the time is O of n because you just loop once through the array. Great job from start to finish. If this were a real interview, you'd definitely leave a strong impression. Anything else you'd like to go over, or does that wrap it up for you?
Oh, it seems like I have some error in my code. Let me check about it.
No worries. Take your time. If you run into anything tricky or need help debugging, I'm here. Just let me know what you find or if you want to talk through it.
Okay, I think I found the bug. I accidentally put the update of the remain before the update the result. So we will pick the arrow number and to plus to the result. So I think I fixed that bug.
Ah, got it. That makes total sense. The order of updating is crucial, so you first add the smaller needed time to the result, then update the remain with the larger value. Great catch fixing that. If everything looks good now, you're all set. Anything else you'd like to go over, or are we good to wrap up this mock interview?
Well, I have no question, so thanks for having me. And if you could give me a grade, how would you grade me? Like from 0 to 5?
You did great. I'd give you a solid 4.5 out of 5. You clarified the problem well, came up with a clear, greedy solution, explained the code thoroughly, and caught your own bug. Just a tiny bit more polish and you'd have a perfect 5.
Okay, so this basically is my practice for daily, and I will try it out through ChatGPT because I think it's helped me to practice my communication skill well. So yeah, thanks for watching.